Hi everybody, in today's video I'm going to tell you a very nice story from the Hornbill book of class 11, and the story is The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. If you see this Khushwant Singh as one of the finest writer of in one of the finest Indian writers, okay, and this story is taken from his life. Actually, Khushwant Singh, if you look at the meaning of the word, portrait. What is portrait? Portrait is a painted picture, either a painted picture or a photograph, okay, of a person. Is that clear? That is called portrait. So here in this story, the portrait of a lady, it means it's a painting or it's a photograph of his own grandmother. Is that clear? So in this story, there are three phases. The story has three phases. One is early phase. Second is the middle part. It means second phase. In the first phase, Khushwant Singh childhood is described, and the second phase, we see Khushwant Singh in a town with his grandmother. The first phase consists of Khushwant Singh's early childhood days spent in a village, and the second phase of his life, is depicted in a city. Understood? With his grandmother. And the third phase consists of his days abroad for higher studies and his return. Understood? These are the three phases of the story. Let's see how the story began. Actually, Khushwant Singh has given a paint picture, means very clear picture, vivid picture of his early childhood days with his grandmother, and he described the beauty of his grandmother. This grandmother of Khushwant Singh was really very beautiful. But according to Khushwant Singh, she was beautiful, but she was not pretty. Understood? But Khushwant Singh was a little boy, as he was a grandson. Naturally, if you are the grandson, understood, of a lady, clear, to you that lady is always old. Understood what I'm saying? So if the lady says that my dear grandson, when I was a little girl, I used to play games and all, but to you, how will it sound? You will think like, oh my God, whatever stories or the stories told by my grandmother cannot be true at all. These stories told by my grandmother are like the other stories from other folktale fable books. Do you get me what I'm saying? Are you getting me? So grandmother's story were not believed at all. Understood? The grandmother used to tell them stories to make them happy. Like the grandchildren always get to hear the stories of their early childhood days. Understood? From their grandparents. Clear? Grandchildren get to hear the stories from their grandparents. But some of the grandchildren, most of the grandchildren actually do not believe, according to the story, The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. Khushwant Singh says, like all Hindu old women do, they generally, carry, understood, rosary, beads of rosary. And she, as an old lady, used to carry beads of rosary. Understood? And that was how, as she was an old lady, naturally, what would she do? Generally, she gave a very clear description of how his grandmother looked like. The first thing, his grandmother was beautiful but not pretty. At the same time, the Khushwant Singh said his grandmother was short. Number one. Number two, her face had wrinkles all over it. Understood? Number three, she was bent in her posture. Like this. She was bent in her posture. Clear? And Khushwant Singh talks about a picture of a portrait of his grandfather on the wall. Understood? And the picture of his grandfather on the wall shows that fellow, his grandfather, was a old man. Clear? Number one. Number two, he had white beard. Clear? Number three, according to Khushwant Singh, this man could have many grandchildren. Understood? that person, his grandfather, could have many children. But why didn't he have many children? I don't know. Understood? According to Khushwant Singh, Khushwant Singh thought that if my grandmother is this beautiful, she could have given birth to many children. As his grandfather was very strong, understood, and he was also, his grandfather looked like an old man, and he actually was an old man. And as he was, a Punjabi, he wore turban and his beard stopped, understood, reached the chest. Clear? But his grandfather already left. Now he is left with his grandmother. And what does the grandmother do? Now in the first phase we see Khushwant Singh going to a village school, village primary school, and these are the finest day of Khushwant Singh's life. Why? Because these are the days on which she enjoyed her companionship. Understood? And they had a very good friendship. She used to prepare him for school every morning. Used to take stale chapatis, clear, with butter and sugar sprayed over it. Clear? She used to take this for Khushwant Singh, and she used to extra chapatis, stale chapatis with butter and sprayed over it for the street dogs. She was an animal lover. Do you get it? The old lady had many traits, clear, of a personality. So here Khushwant Singh was really very happy. Understood? When he spent his days in the company of his grandmother in the village, and grandmother also enjoyed, clear, her time with Khushwant Singh. She enjoyed taking him to school, and as it was a village school, there was a temple attached to the primary school. Clear? And when Khushwant Singh used to read, understood his lesson, his grandmother on the other side in the temple, what she used to do was she used to recite what? The prayers. Understood? And was doing her beads. This is how the first phase of the story ended. Understood? As her parents, as whose parents? Sorry, as Khushwant Singh's parents. Understood? As Khushwant Singh's parents were walking in the town, and they settled there permanently. Clear? So after few days, Khushwant Singh's parents informed grandmother, you people have to come to the city, because they have already settled down permanently in the town. So they wanted Khushwant Singh and grandmother to go to the city to live with them. First, the parents left the village, left Khushwant Singh with his grandmother. Now, parents called them. Where? To go to the city to live with them. Did you get it? Here, in the town, the old lady do not have street dogs to feed. Understood? In the village, the old lady used to take what? In the tiffin box, stale chapatis with sugar and butter sprayed over it. And extra chapatis to feed the street dogs. Clear? Now, in the town, they don't have what? They don't have in the town, she doesn't see street dogs. In the town, she only sees sparrows. Do you get me? In the town, she begins to feel like a fish out of water, because her relationship with her grandson, clear, was almost over. She cannot take her grandson to school, because a school bus used to come and drop the boy. Clear? Now, number one, she is missing, understood, the opportunity to go to his school. Number two, in the town she doesn't see street dogs to feed. So this place was taken by sparrows. Sparrows used to come to her veranda, and she used to, now she started feeding the sparrows. Clear? And the half an hour that she spent feeding the sparrows in the veranda of their new flat or new house in the town, understood, was the happiest time of her life. And she used to do the beats. The rest of the day she used to do the beats. That's how she spent the day. Understood? Now, in the town, only thing she does is she is getting some time to share with Khushwant Singh, because they were sharing the same room. That is the only opportunity to be close to each other. That's how she spent her days in the town. Another very important thing that I find it very important to discuss is, in the town, while living in the town, the two things that she does, she is now missing whom? The company of Khushwant Singh. She cannot take Khushwant Singh to school. Now she cannot feed the street dogs. Here she started feeding the sparrows in the veranda of her house. The third thing that happened to her was, she doesn't like the books taught in the town school, because it was an English medium school. Here the children are being given music lesson. According to grandma, music lesson can, understood, pollute the children. Why? According to her, music lesson is for the beggars and for the prostitutes. Music lessons cannot make good human beings. Another very important thing was, in the town school, no education is imparted on gods and goddesses. It means school doesn't give moral education. According to her, a school where moral education is not given, according to her, a school where moral education is not given cannot be a good school. It means, if there is moral education imparted in a school, according to her, that is the finest school. Do you get it? Actually, I also think so. Because these days, English medium schools started teaching one subject that is called moral education. I don't know. Did you have moral education? Yes. I think English medium schools have. If your central model doesn't have, that is a different issue altogether. But I am 100% sure, even now, I teach St. Stephen, St. Lawrence, St. Paul, St. Joseph, wherever I teach. Every school, teach moral education. Students of almost all the schools, St. Paul, St. Lawrence, St. Stephen, I teach students of these schools, even Julian Day. They all have moral education book. But if you say, no, I don't have, that is a different issue altogether. And now, so these are the losses that she is suffering in city. Do you get it? And now I am going to enter the third phase. In the third phase of the story, what happened? Khushwant Singh is getting ready to go abroad for higher studies. Do you get it? Now he is a student of university. With the passage of, as the days or years passed, their interaction, understood, started, their relationship is suffering. Do you get it? And their interaction started reducing. Do you get it? That's how she began to feel like she is a fish out of water. She begins to feel like she doesn't enjoy the relationship like she enjoyed earlier in the village. Understood? Now what is she doing? If she doesn't get what she got earlier, what will she do? She started reciting prayers the whole day and spending the day spinning well and feeding the sparrows for half an hour. Then when she got to know about his grandson's higher studies or further studies abroad, she felt sad. Initially she felt sad, but it was a question of his career. Naturally, he was allowed to go. And he went to the station to say goodbye. Clear? And he planted a kiss on the forehead of the author. Clear? And wished him happy journey. But after 5 years, but actually Khushwant Singh at that time thought that it was the last physical touch. Clear? As Khushwant Singh always enjoyed, understood, the comfort of her touch. Do you get it? That's how, according to him, he thought maybe it is the last touch, physical contact with her grandmother. Why? Because grandmother is an old lady. Maybe within 5 years she may die. Understood? That's the reason she felt like that. But 5 years passed. Grandmother came back. Khushwant Singh came back from abroad. Clear? He returned home. Then grandmother went to the station to receive him. Clear? And grandmother didn't change. She looked not a day older. She looked exactly how she looked like 5 years back. Grandmother was so happy that she didn't feed the sparrows. And according to grandmother, that is the sin she committed. On the day his grandson returned, she called all the village women, all the women from the neighborhood, understood, and tell them to beat the drums. She started beating the drums and dancing and singing. Do you get it? It's a question of happiness. If your grandson is returning, if her grandson is returning after 5 long years, understood, it's the absence, understood, of 5 long years, understood, of from her grandson was broken. Clear? Ended today. So is not this a day of happiness? So this, to celebrate this day of return after 5 years, clear, she decided to call the women from the neighborhood, and she got a drum and she told them to beat the drums, and the beating of the drums was a celebration. Clear? And she also sang, danced, and all the members of the family were worried. They said, no. Due to the presence of thousands of people in our house, a lot of people, I must not say thousands, a lot of people, you may suffocate. It means due to exhaustion. Understood? You may fall ill. And that was what came true. She really fell ill. Because due to presence of so many people, old people actually, they start suffocating. Means they start struggling for breath. Understood? They need fresh air. Old people, they need to go to the garden outside for a walk. Understood? They need fresh air. But due to exhaustion, what happened? Due to suffocation, she fell ill. She caught mild fever. And according to the old lady said, I am now ill, understood, and I will die. She said that this illness, I cannot recover, I cannot come round, because this is not an illness, my time of death, understood, has arrived. Now I am going to say goodbye. Why? What was the reason of her death? The reason is she was so happy that she brought all the women from the village, celebrated his grandson's return, clear, and due to this she did not feed the sparrows, and that was the sin that she committed. But you won't believe, she spent so many years feeding the sparrows, but the day she died, she was wrapped, understood, she was wrapped with a red cloth, clear, and was placed on a bed, and all the sparrows came, like as usual, all the sparrows came, sat around the dead body. Even writer's mother gave some crumbs of bread to all the birds. The birds did not refuse to it. Even, what does it show? The birds are also very sensitive. Do you understand? The birds are also sensitive. They are as sensitive as human beings. So my dear friend, what happened to you know at last? All the birds flew away without eating anything. Next day, sweeper was called and the veranda was cleaned. So, what does this story show? Love for mankind, love for animals, love for society, and it's an overall picture of the roles of the grandmothers in our life. Those who go through this story like this, I always thank CBSE for selecting stories like this. So the class 11 story from the Hornbill book is really very good story, because it teaches you about the importance of grandparents in our life. The families in the cities, the families living in the cities do not have grandparents in them. So CBSE has decided to teach all the parents of the importance of letting the grandparents live with them, at least for the good upbringing, well-being of the grandchildren. Because when you grow up under the tutelage or under the care of people like grandparents, you grow up into a very good human being, because the good moral values get inculcated in you. Do you get it? Okay, with this I come to the end of the story. I hope you have benefited from the story that I have told you. If you have liked it, don't forget to give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Bye.